Assalamu alaikum. Welcome again to another episode of the reading from the book Goodnight Stories from the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the last episode, we talked about how the people of Yathrib or Medina came and pledged allegiance to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They also pledged to protect and defend the Muslims as they move from Mecca to Medina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had allowed Muslims who could to move from Mecca to Medina, and they moved in secret in small numbers at night so that Quraysh would not capture them or torture them or kill them. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not allowed. He did not have permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to move yet. So in this story, in today's chapter, we'll look at how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to move and the challenges he faced on this preparation for this migration. Today again, I'm joined by my esteemed helpers, Nabil and Omar.
Hi.
So the chapter is the Prophet leaves Mecca. All the Muslims left for Medina. Only Abu Bakr and Ali were left with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There were a few other Muslims, but they could not leave Medina at this time. Abu Bakr radiallahu anh asked the Prophet again and again, "Let me go to Medina." But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not let him go. He said, "Abu Bakr, don't be in a hurry. Maybe you will not have to go alone. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a companion for your travel." Abu Bakr thought, and he was like, maybe Allah wants me to stay with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe Allah wants me to travel when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam travels. Let me make preparations for two people. So he went and bought 2 camels. He looked after them and gave them food and water and prepared the packs and everything that is needed to make this journey. And he was ready. The camels were ready to go at a moment's notice. Quraysh became very, very angry when they started discovering that the Muslims escaped to Medina. They thought eventually the Prophet Muhammad is also going to escape. He talks all the time about Allah. He's against our customs and our idols. If other tribes support him, then we will become nothing. We must do something. And they decided to attack his house at night. Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, "Don't sleep tonight in your bed." The Prophet told Ali radiallahu anh, his cousin, "Lie down in my bed, wrap yourself with my cloak." At night, Quraysh had gathered strong men with swords and weapons, and they surrounded the house of Prophet Muhammad. Nobody could leave the house. They were surrounding it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah told Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to go out and they will not see you. There will be a barrier between you and them. The Prophet ﷺ came out of his house at night, and in the darkness, he went straight to the house of Abu Bakr. They both mounted the camels and left the city. But they did not go straight to Medina. Instead, they went south, which is the opposite direction to a nearby mountain. If they had went straight to Medina, the Quraysh would have sent after them speedy horses or speedy knights on camels, and they would have caught up with them very quickly. There was a cave there, and they hid in it. In the morning, Ali got up from the Prophet's bed sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Quraysh had broken in and lifted their swords. And then when they lifted the cloak and saw it was Ali, they're like, "Oh man, this is not the guy we're looking for. He escaped." And the Quraysh saw and found out that they had been deceived, and they shouted, "Muhammad has escaped. Let's chase and catch him." And immediately they sent their knights and their camels chasing, headed north towards Medina. The Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr stayed in a cave. The 2 men were looking for them, passed by, but did not notice them. 3 days later, they left for Medina, and with Allah's help, reached their safety. Some of the details is that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was supported by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but at the same time, he planned how to evade and how to hide their tracks, and he had shepherds walk behind them and cover the camel tracks with sheep, even if somebody was looking for Prophet Muhammad to the south, they wouldn't be able to track the camels or track the footsteps of people. So in the next chapter, we will finish the story of Hijrah, where the Prophet ﷺ goes to Medina and reaches Medina, and the challenges that he faces on that journey. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, leave us your comments or your questions on Facebook. Let's see if the audience, do you guys have any questions?
No.
No questions?
No.
Okay,
Actually,
cool. No questions. Actually, yes, tell me.
What was the barrier between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quraysh?
That is an excellent question, Nabil. So, when Quraysh was surrounding the house, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we created a barrier between you and them, so they will not see you. The type of barrier or what the barrier was, nobody really knows. But it's described that it's like they froze or they couldn't see. They were standing there with their swords, but they couldn't see Prophet Muhammad as he walked between them. And in some narrations, they say that he even picked up sand and put sand on their heads to prove to them that this was a miracle that they were blocked. Wallahu alam. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.